Without further ado, let's start with the Sage Job Class Skill and Shadow Equipment review. Hey everyone, I'm King, welcome back to KingSpade channel. I'm trying to make the video as short as possible. Job Class preview video can take half hour of your time if you notice on the previous video. Alright, if you know me, I always start here at the recommended build that the game developer put in the game. This section here can sort of give you an introduction on how the job class should be played. Looking at this picture, there are two possible builds for the Sage: the normal attack type and burst damage type. The normal attack type will have an elemental normal attack build. The burst damage type will have elemental spell casting build. And if you notice, the normal attack type has a book at the character's hand, and the burst damage type has a staff. So you kinda already know what weapon to use depending on the build that you are going for by just looking at this page. But then you will have someone like me that do not like to play by the rules. I always try to build the opposite build with the design, weapon and playstyle, just like what I'm doing with my ranger. Auto attack penetration build ranger. I don't think there's any more players use that build at higher level, right? If you do, please give it a shout at the comment section below. Anyway, the normal type is for grinding. It has auto cast, deal normal attack magic damage, and has elemental enhancement. For burst damage type, it is for PK, player killing aka PvP. It has fast casting, has multiplying damage, and has elemental restraint skill that is useful in PvP. And obviously, you need the INT stat for magic damage, AG to have faster attack speed, and Dex for haste to have high skill cooldown so you can cast skills in short time duration. Now let's go to the skill page. We're going to start from the Bard skill. The first skill we have is the advanced book skill. When equipped with book type of weapon, normal attack becomes short range magic attack. Increase magic attack by 10%. Increase attack speed by 3% for every 60 points of INT. Additionally, increase 20% attack speed for every book refined level. So does this mean that the book build Sage is melee attack because it's short range attack? In a realistic world, because this skill must use the book as a weapon, I would imagine that the Sage will use the book to physically slam the enemy. Not as effective as it sounds like. Now having INT also increases the attack speed. Why all of the new job class are so biased, almost cheating? Why can't the strength or dex can also have attack speed? Looks like the Sage do not have to worry about attack speed after all. And we are just in the first skill. At level 5, the auto cast skill will be activated. After using auto cast, normal attack has 10% chance to cast elemental bolt skill. Every 80 AG stat increases 1% chance up to 20%. The elemental bolt skill is set as such and divided by 3. Every 400 points of dex increases 1 skill level up to 4 level. Last 720 seconds. 720 seconds is 12 minutes. The type of elemental bolt casted will consume according to the type of the elemental stone: earth, fire, water, wind, spirit stone. After showing you how easy it seems to build the Sage, next the game put you in conflict with all of the stats that are needed to make the Sage stronger. It seems like you need the AG and Dex stat nonetheless. So maximum 30% chance that the normal attack will trigger the elemental bolt auto cast. The chance is not that high, but maybe the shadow equipment can increase the probability, or I assume later skills will increase this probability further. And whenever the skill can only be used by equipping certain type of weapon, the skill description will show at the bottom what type of weapon you need to use for the skill. This skill can only be used when using the book weapon. If the skill description does not mention any type of weapon, it means that both weapon, book and staff can use the skill. Next, free cast. Increase INT by 30 points. Sage can move while chanting skill. At max level, the final magic damage bonus is decreased by 0%. At skill level 1, the final magic damage bonus is decreased by 45%. So to avoid your final damage bonus to be reduced, get the skill level to max. Next, castability skill. Enter castability state when casting the same elemental bolt 2 times in a row. Fixed cast time is reduced by 0.2 2 seconds, lasts for 10 seconds. Castability state is cancelled after the effect is applied once. At level 5, the radial cast skill will be activated. Increase Heaven's Drive, Firebolt, Ice Bolt, and Lightning Bolt casting distance by 2 meters. But this does not increase the normal attack distance like the monk, right? So the normal attack is still a close range attack for the book type. This might be useful for two-hand staff weapon. Next, magic punishment. Create a magic barrier after using the skill. Last 10 seconds. Barrier resists 5 times skill magic damage. Every time we resist magic damage up to 150% magic attack, every resist will steal a number of INT stat. Steal minimum 20 points of INT for each person, up to 5 stacks. Last 20 seconds. Effect only applied to players. Steal INT only one time on the same target. Target will lose the corresponding amount of INT stolen for 20 seconds. This is mainly for PvP, I guess. At level 5, the cast cancel skill will be unlocked. Deal 150% neutral attribute magic attack damage in 4 meters radius and apply cast cancel status. Last for 10 seconds, during which if the enemy is casting, chanting, and channeling skill, the target will be silenced for 3 seconds. Cast cancel status is removed after the effect is applied. Cast cancel effect can only be used once during the skill duration. I am not a fan of the silence effect in ROX because it only interrupts the skill, it does not cancel them. I urge this skill is to be changed to a total cancelling skill. At level 5, the Dispel skill will be activated. Decrease enemy magic defense by 12 seconds in 4 meters radius. Last 20 seconds. Has 100% chance to remove one buff from the target. Does not affect on MVP, mini, and boss. Again, a PvP skill. Next, Elemental Arrow Enhancement skill. Elemental Bolt deal 3 meters AoE area of effect damage. Last 50 seconds. Consume 1 corresponding Earth, Fire, Water, Wind, Spirit Stone. Now we are talking. Now with this skill, all the Bolt skill can deal AoE damage. Super useful in both PvE and PvP. At level 5, the Elemental Field will be activated. Create a 8x8 Elemental Field. Lasts for 60 seconds. Each type of Elemental Stone used will generate the corresponding elemental field. Field effect. Deal 60% corresponding elemental damage every second to the enemies within the elemental field. Decrease 40% corresponding elemental damage received inside the field. Only one type of elemental field can exist at one time. Using different elemental stone will stop the previous elemental field. Using the same elemental stone will not stack the elemental field effect. Consume 1 yellow gemstone. I imagine that using this skill for grinding, the elemental field will stay for 60 seconds. That is so long. But then you need to use a lot of yellow gemstones and elemental stone. Next, elemental mark. Target receive damage from auto cast skill will be inflicted with elemental mark status. The target receive additional 500 points of the corresponding elemental damage when hit by the party members corresponding elemental damage. Last 2 seconds. This makes grinding killing monster with a party super fast. Or does this skill effect on MVP as well? Killing bosses will be faster with this extra damage. At level 5, the elemental attribute enchantment skill will be unlocked. Increases additional 5% corresponding elemental damage under the elemental mark effect. Increase final magic penetration by 10% and magic attack by 20%. Increases 1% final magic penetration for every 100 points of INT. Lasts 3 seconds. Now on second thought, the book type Sage can also be good in PvP as a magic attack damage dealer. A lot of the Sage skills just add layers upon layers of extra damage to the target. Alright, that's it for the Sage skill set. Let's continue for the Scholar's skill. At level 5, the Spiderweb skill will be unlocked. Shoot a spiderweb at the target, immobilize it for 3 seconds. The target damage received increased by 30% when hit by fire attribute attack. Immobilized status is removed after receiving 10 times fire attribute attack. What happens if the target does not receive fire attribute attack? Will it be immobilized forever? Oh, immobilized for 3 seconds. At level 5, the Spell Fist skill will be unlocked. Spell Fist imbue weapon with specific elemental attribute according to the Earth, Fire, Water, Wind, Stone used. Has 20% chance to deal additional 6 times 10% 10% magic attack corresponding elemental attribute damage. Lasts for 600 seconds. 600 seconds is 10 minutes. You see what I mean? Layers and layers of this extra damage that build up to deal a lot of damage. At level 5, again, it will unlock the sharpen weapon skill. Increase 0.4% damage to the target for every 1% target's maximum HP lost. Lasts 300 seconds. 300 seconds is 5 minutes and consume 1 red gemstone. A lot of damage comes with a lot of price. Expect that you will use a lot of zenny to buy the elemental stones and gemstones. Next, HP conversion. Convert 15% maximum SP to 15% maximum HP. At level 5, the soul change skill will be unlocked. Exchange SP with the target. After exchanging SP with the targeted player, gain 50% of the player's SP and inflict depleted status to the target. Depleted status reduces the target's 10% maximum SP and can replenish SP by using potion or natural SP recovery. Last 5 seconds. Gain 10% maximum SP if used on monsters. I think this skill is to be used when you have little SP left and immediately swap your SP with the players that have a lot of SP. This way that players will now have little SP and at the same time they cannot recover SP because of the depleted status for 5 seconds. Next, speed reading. Autocast Heaven's Drive, Firebolt, Ice Bolt and Lightning Bolt skill has 20% chance to gain speed reading status. Lasts for 2 seconds. Speed reading status make the next elemental arrow skill to instant cast. Elemental arrow casted under speed reading status will not trigger the speed reading and double casting status. Does this mean that if the speed reading status is triggered, you will cast double elemental arrow skill? At level 5, the double casting skill will be unlocked. Autocast Heaven's Drive, Firebolt, Ice Bolt and Lightning Bolt has 20% chance to cast another elemental arrow skill. Double attack will not trigger the speed reading status. Wait, what? Isn't it similar to the speed reading skill? Oh, alright, I get it. The speed reading skill will bypass the fixed cooldown and the cast time of the next elemental arrow skill, and double casting skill will cast another elemental arrow. Next, monster knowledge. Increase Earth, Fire, Water, Wind monster attribute damage reduction by 10% and increase Earth, Fire, Water, Wind monster attribute damage bonus by 10%. Useful for boss hunt. Next, the soul burn skill. Using cast, cancel, dispel and soul change skill will deal additional 50% maximum SP neutral attribute magic damage. At level 5, the mental breaker skill will be unlocked. Inflict mental breaker status to the target after using cast, cancel, dispel and soul change skill. Has 50% chance to decrease magic damage reduction by 10% and magic defense reduction by 20%. Last 6 seconds. Does not affect on MVP, mini and bosses. So both skill will deal damage to the target and also will decrease their magic defense and magic damage reduction stat. Next, elemental knowledge skill. Increase 5% Earth, Fire, Water, Wind attribute damage. 5% is not a lot, right? The Komodo blue card have more than 10% element attribute damage increase, but it increases all 4 element attributes, so I guess it's okay. Any damage increase are always a good thing. And the last scholar skill is field extension. Field effect lingers for 10 more seconds after both you and party members leave the elemental field. This has to do with the Sage elemental field skill effect. I'm not going to go it through again. You can pause the video or take a screenshot and read it afterwards. And that's all for the scholar skill. Now let's move on to the sorcerer skills. First, we have warm wind. Just by looking at the skill icon, you already sort of can guess what it will do. Deal 150% fire attribute magic damage in 4 meters radius and remove all debuff. Last 12 seconds. Negate, freeze and slow status for the effect duration. Does not apply on MVP, mini and bosses inflicted debuff. This skill can be used under control and silence status. Basically, just warm you up. Melt all that ice around you. Make the blood circulation flow. At level 5, the Earth Grave skill will be unlocked. Deal 300% Earth attribute magic damage in 4 meters radius and slow the target movement speed by 4%. Last 3 seconds. Nothing creative for Earth skill. From the wizard to the bard, all Earth skills make you slow. Next, Diamond Dash. Deal 300% water attribute magic damage in 4 meters radius and has 30% chance to inflict freeze status. Lasts 3 seconds. 30% chance to freeze is not enough. Players have way more freeze resist in PvP. This is absolutely not effective. At level 5, the Vertier Spear skill will be unlocked. Deal 300% wind attribute magic damage in 4 meters radius and has 30% chance to inflict stun status. Lasts 3 seconds. Again, do you think that 30% chance can stun anyone in PvP? I mean, except for me. I have 0 stun resist in PvP and definitely stun for the entire match from the beginning till the end, and just a free target to be killed. But PvP players will definitely immune to stun, so not effective. Next, Spirit Summon. Now this is the core build, I can say. The main focus for the Sorcerer skill, the Elemental Spirit. If you had watched the stage video teaser that the game developer released, or this video that I made, then you know what I mean. And also from here onwards, all the skills are related to the Elemental Spirits. Spirit Summon skill summon the Elemental Spirit. Elemental Spirit summon is according to the Earth, Fire, Water, Wind, Stone. Elemental Spirit acts as a shield and has Sage 200% magic attack HP. Consume 45 SP per second. Lasts 150 seconds. Elemental Spirit will vanish after the HP is reduced to 0 or the caster reach 0 SP. Only one Elemental Spirit can be summoned at one time. At level 5, the Spirit attack skill will be unlocked. So now you can command the Spirit to attack. Each Spirit element has their own attack skill. Earth is called Gravity, Fire is Meteor, Water is Thunderstorm, and Wind is Windstorm. Elemental Spirit deal 150% magic attack corresponding skill magic damage in 4 meters radius every 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds. Sage can fuse with Elemental Spirit and gain their skill to be freely used and deal damage, but the damage is reduced by 60%. At level 5, the Spirit Barrier will be activated. Sacrifice the summoned Elemental Spirit to create a barrier. Negate 20 times melee and range physical attack done to all party members inside the barrier. The numbers of protection are reduced every hit received. All hits are shared among all of the party members. So now the Spirit not just attack, but also protect. Next, at level 5, another Spirit skill will be unlocked. The Spirit Exchange skill. Increase Elemental Spirit damage by 10%. Gain 1 Spirit Exchange stack every 2 seconds. Each stack increases additional damage by 2%. Up to 10 stacks. Increase movement speed by 2 points. Spirit Exchange stat will be removed when the Elemental Spirit dies or swap. Spirit Exchange effect will remain when fusing with Sage. Effect is removed after the fusion duration ends. Next, we have Spirit Heal. As the name suggests, you can heal the Spirit HP. Deduct your 5% maximum HP every second to recover the Elemental Spirit HP by 500% magical attack. Last 4 seconds. HP recovery will stop if the caster HP is not enough for the duration. Caster HP must have at least 30% maximum HP to use the skill. Next, we have Spirit Control. Turn on the skill to activate attack mode. Turn off the skill to activate defense mode. When it is in attack mode, the Elemental Spirit will proceed to attack. When in defense mode, the Elemental Spirit will not attack. Instead, it recovers its shield or HP, I guess, by this value. 20% damage done to the Spirit Elemental in defense mode will be absorbed by the Sorcerer. Next, Spirit Insignia. Now, Insignia is like a diagram, a magic circle diagram on the floor, sort of. I don't know, I haven't looked at the skill in action yet. At a 4 meters radius insignia element attribute is according to the Spirit Elemental attribute. Recover 6% HP of magic attack to the party members that have the same element attribute inside the insignia for every second. Enemy with similar elemental attribute inside the insignia will lose 20% HP of magic attack. skill can only be used when Spirit Elemental is present, lasts for 12 seconds. And the last skill is the Spirit Fusion skill. Now I have mentioned a few times about fusion while going through the skill, so this is what it means. And this is the longest ever skill description that I've seen so far. I wonder how they're going to put all that into the skill description box. Anyway, I'm going to read all of that. Sacrifice the Summon Elemental Spirit and fuse it with the Sorcerer. Last 15 seconds and gain the following effects. For Earth Spirit, transform armor and weapon element attribute to Earth. Reduce damage received by 45%. Normal attack has 50% chance to reduce target in 2 by 4 meters radius attack speed by 450% and reduce movement speed by 50%. Last 3 seconds. For Fire Spirit, transform armor and weapon element attribute to Fire. Increase movement speed by 2 points. Increase the advanced book short range attack to 4 meters. With 180-degree fan-shaped area. For Water Spirit, transform armor and weapon element attribute to Water. Deal 125% magic attack water attribute magic damage to enemies within 4 meters radius every second. Enemies that move towards Sorcerer will be knocked back 4 meters and reduce the movement speed by 40%. For Wind Spirit, transform armor and weapon element attribute to Wind. Has 50% chance to deal 20% magic attack wind attribute magic damage toward the attacker every time when receiving hit, and inflict darkness status for 2 seconds. Effect is triggered every 0.2 seconds. This is sort of like Reflect. Changing Elemental Spirit will remove the previous fusion effect. And that's all for the Sage, Scholar, and Sorcerer skills. That is a lot to take in, but let's go on with the Shadow equipment. Now I'm not going to read one by one for the Shadow equipment. I have translated everything and I'm just going to open it and show you. But before that, let's see what stat that the book and the staff have for Shadow equipment. As you probably already know, the Sage can use either 2-hand book and 2-hand staff. Now both weapons actually have the same stat. Both have haste in the stat. In the Shadow equipment, both also have almost similar stat for Inscription and Pioneer, except for one. Apart from having the magic penetration stat, the book also have attack speed stat. The staff, on the other hand, apart from also having the magic penetration stat, it has the haste stat. So that is the main difference between these two weapons. The book increased attack speed and the staff increased the haste stat. Alright, let's look into the Shadow equipment further. The Sage is an interesting job class from what I see in Taiwan server so far. When the Sage, Bard and Dancer job class is available in Taiwan server, I can see more players trying the Sage class among the 3 new job classes. Alright, that's it for this video. This time video shoutout goes to... Thank you for always supporting me and this channel. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. That's it for now. I'll see you on the next video. And as always, happy playing. Bye bye.